Guess who's back? Back again. What's up, everybody? Bitcoin J. Get that crypto. And please, I'm not going to wait until the end of the video to ask this. Just subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. Bell notifications. Get on board. I know I don't put out as many videos as I should. You know, you got some people putting out 2-3 videos a day, which I wish I could do that. You know, I just get a little busy in my daytime gig. Hopefully one day this will be my full-time gig. That's what I'm working towards. But it's up to you guys to help the community, help me, help my channel. So subscribe, bell notification, and leave a comment. Anyway, I just want to talk about a few things real quick today. Give you guys an idea of what I've been looking into. It's pretty good stuff. So I hope you haven't heard it before, because if you have, well, that sucks. I thought this was kind of, well, it's not like I'm CNN, but, you know, I want you guys to see that, you know, the important stuff that's happening out there in the world. Anyway, first up. All right. From the UK to Malaysia, how countries have been classifying crypto across the world. So it's pretty interesting to me, I thought. So we'll talk about it just a little. All right. All right. On January 23rd, the United Kingdom's Financial Conduct Authorities, FCA, the domestic financial regulator, released a 50-page long consultation paper dubbed Guidance on Crypto Assets, as the UK seems to be moving closer towards rolling out a definitive regulatory framework, which I'm not exactly sure, but you can click on it. I'll probably leave a link in the description so you guys can look more into it. So we're not going to, you know, spend all day on this, but because we've got a few other topics to cover that I thought were pretty cool. Anyway, God, man, I get jacked up talking about it. So I'm sorry if I'm talking too fast. All right. It is time released. It is time to reassess how other crypto markets, specifically the major ones, are dealing with cryptocurrencies on a judicial level. Guidance on crypto assets reviewed how the UK is going to deal with virtual currencies. And there actually is a few other countries that they're going to kind of go over, which is kind of cool. All right, given the tone of the new FCA paper, the UK government seemed to be leaning toward a rather neutral approach to cryptocurrencies, as they should, you know, because the whole point of decentralized network is it's not controlled by a government or anyone for that matter. All right. All right. The primary goal of the document is to provide more regulatory clarity for crypto market participants. I think more so, in my opinion, it's because they're getting ready to roll out, you know, backed OTCs, FTCs, all these things. And I think that they kind of, you know, want a little bit more clarity on how this can coexist with the traditional financial markets. That's my opinion. But, you know, leave your comment and see what you think. OK. Specifically, FCA aims to help them understand whether their digital asset of choice are within the regulatory parameter, where regulations apply to their business, and whether they need to authorize with the agency. To be authorized with the agency. Lord. I'm so sorry, guys. All right. In the paper, the regulatory outlines various possible definitions of crypto assets and currently applicable UK law. Specifically, the agency notes that the crypto assets could be considered specified investments under the state's Regulatory Activities Order, RAO, or financial instruments regulated by the Markets and the Financial Instruments Directive 2. The regulatory body also mentions that such assets could be subject to e-money regulations or payment services regulations. The FCA's consultation paper then breaks down cryptocurrencies into 3 potential categories: exchange tokens, security tokens, and utility tokens, which I think most of us are familiar with. But thus, as per the agency, exchange tokens are those not issued, backed by any central authority, and are intended to and are intended and designed to be used as a means of exchange. The FCA cited that the example of Bitcoin, BTC, and Litecoin, LTC, in the context of that particular type of digital asset, added that exchange tokens are usually decentralized. Consequently, the regulator adds such tokens can be used for the buying and selling of goods and services without the need for a conventional intermediaries such as banks. Absolutely. Security tokens, in turn, are assets that are in the same or are the same as akin to traditional instruments like shares, debentures, or units in a collective investment scheme. The FCA adds that such tokens likely fall under the RAO and are hence within the parameter of the watchdog's purview. The FCA avoids mentioning specific examples such as security tokens, but nonetheless outlined a more abstract example. Let's go down, to what they call a utility token. Finally, coins referred to as utility tokens are those that give users access to a product, but not grant the same rights as security tokens, and hence are not covered by a regulatory regimen, unless they can be classified as e-money by definition. All right, we can get into this. I can read this whole thing, but obviously you can read, and obviously you can read a lot better than I can. Obviously I'm having trouble. It's early. It's about 8:30 in the morning for me, Eastern Standard Time. And shout out to my boy, Digital Asset Investor. I'm sipping on a little bit of that cinnamon coffee. Although I've been doing this a long time, I just never coined the phrase. So I got to give my man props for that. All right. Let's look at what different countries think about cryptocurrencies. This is cool. Japan, status of cryptocurrencies, legally accepted means of payment, which is cool. All right. Japan is one of the world's largest markets for cryptocurrencies. According to the data collected by the Financial Services Agency, FSA, the chief domestic financial regulator, the country has about 3.5 million crypto traders who conduct annual transactions to the amount of more than 97 billion. The majority of them are reportedly businessmen around the age of 30. Wow. So kind of like millennials, not kind of, they are millennials. All right. Moreover, domestic reporters show that around 14% of the country's young male workforce have invested in cryptocurrencies. Given the significant size of Japan's crypto market, the FSA has been notably active there. As a result of its politics, the domestic market has gained the reputation of being the most compliant and regulation oriented. So we need to take suit as America, because obviously we're always behind the times of technology. We've given up on, producing things and manufacturing. We've given up on that. We've just taken that and just given it to other countries. So I don't know what we do. I don't know what we're good at anymore. I really don't. So it's really frustrating, growing up in a steel town, because I'm from steel country, somewhere in Ohio. Don't want to give my exact location. It's not, I sound like a special secret agent, but anyway, I'm from up north. So, steel town, hard worker, blue collar type town, and we've been devastated there, Michigan, Pittsburgh, Ohio, all these places. And it's frustrating because, when you grew up, your goal was to come out of high school, maybe work at the steel mill or work at a production company facility, or even just learn a trade. And nowadays, learning trades is a thing of the past. So what do you have? Well, we need to look forward to something different in this country, and we need to start thinking forward. We need to cultivate minds and understand that it's not just going to college, because in my opinion, college is the biggest racket out there. So we have to have these young people think, what's new? What's the next technology? And let's cultivate that. And then that's where I think cryptocurrency should be taught and understood. All these things, programming, different things like that. So trade schools are a big thing in my mind that need to be promoted. So I can totally relate to being underserved. And it's a shame because we should be overserved. You got a little, country like Japan that they're leading the world in cryptocurrency, and they're forward thinking. Come on, man. This is ridiculous. Where are we at? But when you look at this, let's drop down. China, status of cryptocurrencies, not recognized, banned for trading. They're just haters, because if they can't control everything, they don't want you doing nothing. That's why a lot of, people that the innovators from China migrate to Japan, because they're very free and open about it. Let's read and see what they say about it. China used to be an extremely significant player in the crypto market. Go figure. Hosting a substantial share of Bitcoin miners. which I think we all know that over 50% of the mining is owned by Japan. All right. You've heard of, Lord, what is the name of them? They own Bitmain. All right. Just throwing that out there. All right. In 2017, it was estimated that 50 to 70% of the Bitcoin mining took place in that country. The Bitcoin trading volume, however, since the government's major crackdown on local exchanges and ICOs in September 2017, both figures have been significantly downplayed. Nevertheless, China has not abandoned crypto altogether and moved on to become a strictly blockchain power. Thus, since the wave of regulatory repression took place, people in China can hold cryptocurrencies but cannot legally exchange them for fiat money. According to the local government, domestic regulators do not recognize cryptocurrencies as a legal tender or as a tool for retail payments, and Chinese banking system is not accepting any cryptocurrencies. That sound familiar? Kind of sounds like the United States. Just a little. Not a lot, but just a little. All right, let's see what they say about the U.S. United States status of cryptocurrencies depends on agency. That's pretty cool. In the U.S., Congress holds supreme power over federal regulatory services, such as Commodity Futures Trading Commissions, CFTC, and the Securities and Exchange Commissions, SEC, discharging them to comply with the laws it issues. However, Congress has remained silent on the matter of regulating and defining cryptocurrencies. Meanwhile, different regulatory agencies have taken the matter into their own hands, with each regulatory body defining cryptocurrencies in its own way. The SEC and the body that oversees securities transactions, according to the 70-year-old Howey test, which the SEC applies to determine the pure view of its jurisdiction, a security involves the investment of money in a common enterprise, in which the investor expects profits primarily from others' efforts. Okay. Nonetheless, the SEC has ruled that Ethereum and Bitcoin are not securities, meaning that the asset of the ICOs won't be reassessed by the regulator, which has been shutting down unregistered securities during the sweeping probe. All right, you guys can read all that stuff. Read into it. All right, Germany, status of cryptocurrencies, private money. That's interesting. Cryptocurrencies are not a legal tender in Germany, but they have been recognized as private money by the German Financial Ministry since 2013. Consequently, any profit made through trading, mining, and exchanging Bitcoin and altcoins is subject to a capital gains tax. Wow. Capital gains. Sounds like investments. That's what they're, or like an annuity or something, or like a lottery winning or something like that. But that's interesting. Crypto seems to be relatively popular among young people in Germany. According to a November poll conducted by German consumer centers in Hesse-Saxony, more than a quarter of the Germans aged 18 to 29 are interested in buying digital assets. Meanwhile, the German Federal Financial Supervisory Authority, BaFin, has been maintaining a rather aggressive stance toward ICOs, reporting on unauthorized offerings and warning private investors to keep away from such things. The agency has also called for international regulation in the sector. I mean, everybody is so scared. Listen, I get it. You know, the old money, the 7 banks, as they call them. I think it's the 7 banks. Do I know all 7? No, but I know one of the major ones is the Rothschilds. They pretty much own money. They own it. They're so afraid, but people don't realize. I mean, even the Rothschilds have filed a patent on a cryptocurrency exchange that they're going to start. So even they know that the money's changing. The how we process finances, how we look at cash, how we look at stores of value. They know it's changing, so they're changing with the times, but they're changing slowly. So all these countries are a little apprehensive, except for the little tiny Japan, which isn't that tiny, but that's crazy. Switzerland, properties. All right, I'm not going to read too much into this. You guys can read it. I'll leave a link in the description. But Switzerland, they list as properties. South Korea, not defined yet. And I'm sure that That's a little strange. But anyway, Malta, digital medium of exchange, unit of account, store of value. Okay, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. Malaysia, a securities. Really? That's interesting. Singapore, not legal tender, unregulated. See, everybody's a little, they're confused, I should say. They don't know what to think. They don't know what to say about it. All right. Italy, not yet regulated. Yep, that's it. All right, that's pretty cool. All right, I spent a whole lot of time on this, and I thought it was kind of interesting to see how other countries look at and view cryptocurrencies. All right, off to the next topic. All right, Winklevoss Twins respond to critics of their crypto needs rules ad campaign. All right, what are my thoughts on the Winklevoss Twins? All right, I can't really hate on them as businessmen because, well, they're pretty brilliant. Think about it. They initially developed Facebook, and it got taken from them because, I don't know, maybe truly because they're idiots. Like, they're very smart, but the common sense doesn't exist. I think they have a lot of book smarts, but no common sense. So to say that cryptocurrency needs rules, you're an idiot. You don't understand cryptocurrency. It's obvious. You don't understand the reason behind the development of cryptocurrency. So you do, but you don't. That's what doesn't make sense, because you got involved early. You bought a ton of Bitcoin. You've got your own exchange, but yet you're talking about it needs rules. Shut up. Anyway. All right. So what did they say to get everybody up in a roar? All right. Recently, the Winklevoss Twins have received criticism from parts of their crypto asset community due to the new regulation-focused ad campaign that they've launched for their New York-based digital asset exchange, which is called Gemini, in case you guys didn't know. For many, the point of new asset like Bitcoin is to get around the regulations associated with traditional financial system. And as you well know, New York is, boy, to get them to stay out of your cryptocurrency business is damn near impossible. All right. Hoops to jump through, all kind of, people saying you need this, you need this, you need to sign this, you need to go through this, you just got to do so much in New York. That's why a lot of cryptocurrency, developers and thinkers and investors, they just leave New York if they want to do anything with cryptocurrency. Obviously, Winklevoss Twins have found a way and found their lane in there. And I think what that is they're laying in the bed with the people that are the naysayers, and they're kind of like on both sides of the fence, which, God bless them. If that's what they want to do and they're able to do it, get it done. Get her done. All right. On the recent episode of Laura Shen's Unchained podcast, Cameron and Tyler Winklevoss had a chance to respond to some of their new ad campaign, which includes the slogan, "Crypto needs rules." Yeah, right. Gemini responds to the backlash from the Bitcoin community. While interviewing the Winklevoss Twins, Shen cited a tweet from Shapeshift CEO Eric Voorhees, and I love this comment, and this pretty much sums up everything. You don't even need to respond to what they said, because this dude just ate their lunch. We'll read that here real quick. Whereas Gemini received a face-to-face new ad campaign, Shen also pointed out that Messari co-founder Dan McCardle decided to close his Gemini account in response to the advertising material. That's so funny. And they're going to receive a lot of backlash from this, from just people that have an account with Gemini. We already know that. And if you don't know that, and if you have an account with Gemini, just go to Binance and leave these knuckleheads alone. Anyway, Eric Voorhees on Twitter, this is what he said. Hey, at Gemini, crypto has lots of rules already. Crypto, in a capital, is rules. These rules are stronger than any political inscriptions. They are objective, open, and knowable to all parties. Open ledger, you can see every transaction. All right? That's the whole point. They transcend borders, and they aren't enforced by mathematics. Crypto is a system of laws and not men. Mic drop. That's all that needs to be said. All right? In their response, Winklevoss praised Voorhees' claim to agree with his points and clarified the message of the advertising material. And I quote, "Well, Well, we certainly know that we are not going to please everybody. And I will say that I actually agree with Eric. Eric's a very thoughtful thinker and an excellent writer. And I agree. Crypto doesn't need rules because it has the rules of math and cryptography. The rules that we're talking about are regulation oversight on how people use the technology and how people build the technology and how companies like Gemini, for example, custody assets and what kind of oversight. Shut up. No, you don't. You're begging for the government to get involved and treat this like banks. Well, that's the whole point. You don't want that. All right. God, they piss me off. I want to like them because they keep doing, good things. They're great thinkers in themselves, but the common sense is lacking, man. They need to do like me. They just need to hire me to just tell them the real stuff. You got the book sense, you got the money, but you need to do with some street knowledge and some understanding of how regular people think. Hey, what do you think, Arnell? Nah, that's stupid, dog. Don't even put that campaign out because you're a dumbass. That's what they're going to say about you. Don't be that guy. Oh, okay. See, I can help. That's what my job is to keep you straight. And I can connect with the regular people, regular dudes, regular women, regular people. All right. On to the next. And last, we're going to keep this as short as I can. I thought this was kind of cool. Crypto wallet scores 15 million from SBI Holdings. For those of you who don't know who SBI Holdings is, huge bank. More like an investment company or investment firm in Tokyo. It's one of the biggest out there. So SBI Holdings has led to 15 million fundraiser for BRD, the crypto wallet. The firm will use the funds to expand it into Asia and Europe, which is kind of cool, which is where the markets are. That's the leading markets for cryptocurrency, which is, in my mind, again, is incredible. Why we're not there. We're so scared. All right. Japanese investment giant SBI Holdings is pouring 15 million into a San Francisco-based crypto wallet, BRD, which offers a mobile crypto wallet app, which is awesome, which is what we all need. Now, in fact, if I'm not mistaken, and you guys can do your own research, I think the new Samsung phone has a built-in wallet, crypto wallet, which says a lot about the way the thinking's going with these guys when they're developing technology and how more receptive they are to cryptocurrency. So that's pretty cool. That's really all I want to get into that. I'm not going to, rant. But I want you to see this too. This is pretty cool. SBI's Holdings. This is, it's a fintech company and they invest in fintech. All right. The biggest one, if you look right here, Ripple. Now they've got a lot. They got Orb, they got R3. I mean, the list goes on what they've invested in and what they're heavily invested in, but that's going to be the biggest moneymaker for them. I don't care what nobody says. Listen, I love all cryptocurrencies. You know that. You've heard me say it. But my absolute favorite, when I wish I would have dug in, man, I wish I could go back to 2013 and dug in and bought a ton. But XRP. Listen, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not asking or telling you to invest in nothing. You do what you think. You do your own research, whatever makes sense to you. But you need some XRP in your life. Just hold it. I think that's going to blow people's minds where it can go financially as far as the value of it. Because it's all about usability. It's all about what it can do. Okay. And the more things it can do and the more money it saves banks, because that's the whole point. You want to integrate it into the banking system. The more usable the product is, the more value it has. Think about that. All right. That's it. I'm out. Like, subscribe, hit the bell notification. I'm sorry I went on a little rant. And listen, I got a little jacked up, so I apologize for my reading because you know what? I read a lot better than that. I truly do. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.